They wanna wonga.
This is going to be a whole new reason to be afraid of rats. Creepypastas are all made up stories aiming to scare the viewer. However, it is often rare to find a creepypasta in which the story is based off of something real. Rap Rat is an urban legend built off an old video board game. In the 80s and 90s, when VHS tapes were still used, some board games required videotapes to explain the rules. One of these tapes is indeed Rap Rat. Some may not believe that this particular creepypasta is an actual thing. Horrifically though, it is. Rap Rat was a board game released by an Australian company in the early 90s. While it wasn't intended to actually frighten kids, or anyone of that matter, it surely did. It's hard to find much details about the origins of Rap Rat, as several people have claimed to be a part of the people that created the video. Some have even claimed to have written the entire creepypasta of Rat Rat. However, this is unknown for now. All we have to review is the actual pasta story, not the origins. All we do know about the origins is that it was made in the 90s and is an actual game. Many people still own it, and you can purchase it off eBay and other websites. The creepypasta about Rap Rat is fairly creepy. The story follows a couple of kids deciding to play the game as their mother bought it for them and they wanted to give it a go. They realise something is wrong when they actually look at Rap Rat himself. One of the kids immediately begins to cry when looking at Rap Rat. The remaining children try to play, but when Rap Rat starts ordering them around in how to play, the kids become more and more terrified. Eventually the VHS tape shows horrific imagery of things that are supposed to scare them, which it ends up doing. The story then skips several years later, into which one of the children finds the tape when they are an adult, and decides to watch it with his girlfriend. The same thing happens, except many things are different. Rap Rat looks much more realistic and the horrific images have changed. Just as bad though. Eventually the character in this pasta turns the tape off and destroys it. The creepypasta ends with the man finding out things about the supposed origins of the VHS tape board game. Apparently while making the Rap Rat doll, a child who worked at the factory, which only employed women and young children, was struck in the neck by a collapsed machine and died instantly. According to the story, next the mother of the child went to the factory and cursed everyone there, and cursed everything that comes into contact with the doll. It was even said that the woman summoned a demon. Ever since the workers have taken many sick days trying to avoid it, and eventually the doll disappeared. This creepypasta is presented to be true. However, like all creepypastas, this story is fiction. While the VHS tape and board games certainly are real, the legends surrounding it are not. Therefore, I will not be acting upon the idea that the legend behind Rap Rat is real. There is absolutely no evidence justifying that any of this creepypasta, besides the VHS tape, actually happened. The demon that this so-called woman summoned, while presented as real, particularly by the author, is not an actual demon at all, according to every single religion. At the end of the pasta, the author also writes rules, warning the audience not to break these as this will result in danger to you. This once again proves that the creepypasta is not real, as the author states to never say the demon's name, which we know is not real at all. This unfortunately drags the storyline down, as well as now we know that it is just an unoriginal story that is flawed and not that interesting. This therefore means that you have nothing to worry about. This creepypasta, like all others, is just a story. Do not take it literally. You can watch the Rap Rat video, it is on YouTube and nothing will happen. The creepypasta itself is creepy with the descriptions and the imagery. However, in my opinion and several others, the legend is banking on the original creepiness of the video, and the storyline is fairly unoriginal and doesn't have much going for it. The fact that the original VHS tape can somehow show graphic and horrific imagery all on its own is ridiculous. There is also no way in which a large company would allow this tape and game to continue to be made if a tragedy such as the child dying were to happen. By also adding that the mother of the deceased daughter also summoned a demon cursing the rat doll is just set up to make the VHS tape even creepier. Although the story does have creepy moments revolving around the man watching the tape, both as a child and years later, where Rat tries to attack them, the story really doesn't add up and focuses too much on trying to make the pasta real. There is not much more to add or review for this creepypasta. Seeing as it is based on an actual game, it takes the original aspect away, and all that is left is just a small story posing as the truth, when really it is just a ploy to try and scare you. This creepypasta is not that great. It was really creepy at first with the video, but when it gets to the legend and creepypasta itself, the story really drags the whole thing down as to how unrealistic it is and cliche the storyline is. Unfortunately, the creepypasta doesn't add justice to how creepy the original video clip is. Despite how bad the story is, the VHS tape is incredibly creepy, especially the way the rat is designed. Rat is surprisingly scary enough without the creepypasta, and I have no idea as to why they designed this character for children. The overall creepiness of this creepypasta is 3 out of 5. I'm rating this on the story, not the tape included. The overall storyline for the Rat creepypasta is 1 out of 5. This means the overall creepypasta story of Rat is 4 out of 10. I hope that you have enjoyed this review. Please leave a comment of the next creepypasta I should review in the comments down below.